If you're looking at HighLevel and thinking $97, $297 or $497, which one do I actually need? There's something else you need to consider before you sign up. Because the subscription price is only part of what HighLevel can cost you. Before we get into the video, quick note. If you want to try HighLevel, don't use the standard 14-day trial. I'll leave the 30-day trial and free bootcamp link below so you get more time to test the platform properly. Use those 30 days to follow along, get live help and test one real workflow like lead capture, follow-up, bookings or customer nurture before you pay. I'm going to compare all three plans, show you who each one is actually for, the catches you need to know about, and then we'll look at the extra costs, including AI. Let's make this simple. One quick thing first. A sub-account is basically a separate workspace inside HighLevel, usually for your business or for a client. That's important because the number of sub-accounts is one of the biggest differences between these plans. And Starter is currently $97 a month. It includes the core platform, unlimited contacts, unlimited users, and up to 3 sub-accounts. If you're a small business and you're mainly using HighLevel for yourself, that can be enough. And if that's all you need, I wouldn't pay more. But if you're an agency and you're creating separate accounts for clients, those 3 accounts can disappear pretty quickly. That's where the $97 plan starts to become restrictive. If you only need a small setup, stop here. Next is Unlimited at $297 a month. The big difference is unlimited sub-accounts. So you can create separate workspaces for as many clients as you need without moving to the $497 plan, just for the account limit. You also get user and agent reporting, basic API access, and phone and email rebilling without markup. So if you're running an agency with multiple clients, this is solving a completely different problem from Starter. But if you're only running one business, you're paying another $200 every month for capacity you may never use. Don't upgrade just because the next plan exists. But then there's the $497 plan. And this is where things change again. Agency Pro is $497 a month. This is aimed at agencies that want to sell HighLevel as a SaaS-style product. You get SaaS Mode, automated sub-account creation, advanced API access, user and agent reporting, and phone and email rebilling with markup. SaaS Mode can let you sell subscriptions and automatically create customer sub-accounts instead of setting every account up manually. If you're actually building that kind of business, now the $497 plan starts to make sense. If you're not, I wouldn't pay $497 just because it's the biggest plan. So very simply, smaller setup, Starter, multiple client accounts, Unlimited, SaaS-style Agency Pro. But we're still only talking about the subscription. Here's where HighLevel pricing gets more interesting. Think of your HighLevel bill as 2 buckets. What you pay for the plan and what you pay because you're actually using certain services. And that's where your actual monthly cost starts to depend on your business. Take email. If you're using LC email, the current rate is $0.675 per 1,000 emails, and that usage is charged separately from the subscription. So, if you're sending large volumes, factor that into your budget rather than assuming everything is included in your monthly plan. For a small business, that's probably not going to be the number that makes or breaks the decision. Phone and SMS are where I'd pay more attention. HighLevel's phone system has separate charges for phone numbers, SMS, MMS, and calls. And those costs vary depending on the country, destination, and the product. SMS is charged by segments, so a longer message can cost more because it uses multiple segments. And emojis can trigger Unicode encoding, reducing the character limit and potentially increasing the number of segments. So don't take somebody else's SMS calculation from another country and assume yours will be the same. If you're planning lots of reminders, missed call texts, or two-way messaging, estimate your usage before you commit. And then there's AI. This is the part I'd pay particularly close attention to because AI usage can add another layer to your costs. HighLevel currently gives you 3 ways to use its AI products: pay-per-use, AI Employee Growth, or AI Employee Unlimited. Growth is $50 a month per enabled location. Unlimited is $97 a month per enabled location. So if you have 5 client accounts using the $50 plan, that's $250 a month before your other high-level costs. But Growth and Unlimited aren't simply cheap AI and expensive AI. They have different included limits and capabilities. And if you only use AI occasionally, pay-per-use can make more sense than adding another monthly subscription. So the question isn't simply, is $50 cheap? The better question is, what work is that $50 actually taking off your plate? You're not replacing an employee for $50. You're paying for a defined amount of automated work, and you need to decide whether that work is worth the cost. And AI still needs setup, configuration, and human oversight. That's a very different calculation from simply saying, HighLevel has AI. Then there are optional services such as the branded client portal app, dedicated IPs, WhatsApp, SEO, WordPress hosting, and other add-ons. Don't add something because HighLevel offers it, add it because you actually need the outcome. Otherwise, it's very easy for a useful-looking platform to turn into a collection of things you're paying for, but barely using. So before you choose your plan, ask yourself 4 questions. How many sub-accounts do I need? How much email, phone, and SMS usage am I going to generate? How much AI do I actually need, and on how many accounts? And which extras do I genuinely need? Answer those 4 and you can work out a much more realistic high-level budget. So, is HighLevel $97 a month? That's the current starting subscription price. But your actual cost depends on the plan, your usage, your AI needs, and the extras you choose. So don't automatically choose the cheapest plan, and don't automatically choose the biggest one. Choose the one that fits what you're actually trying to do. But there's another thing I'd think about before starting your trial. What happens when you actually open HighLevel and realize you've got a powerful platform, but you don't know what you should build first? That's where the bootcamp offer I'm linking below becomes important. Because this isn't just a high-level sign-up link with somebody saying, "Don't worry, I'll help you." You actually have access to a team of qualified high-level workers who can help you while you're setting things up. So instead of spending your trial clicking around trying to work out what everything does, you can follow along, ask questions, and get help with the actual implementation. And that's the difference I'd care about. You're not just being given access to the software. You're getting a way to actually work through it with people who know the platform. Because the biggest risk isn't necessarily buying HighLevel. It's paying for a powerful platform, getting overwhelmed, barely using it, and then deciding it's too complicated. The bootcamp gives you a way to actually get moving instead of spending your trial trying to work out where to start. So you're not just counting down the days wondering whether HighLevel is right for you. You're actually using that time to find out. That's how I'd use a trial. Don't just look around the software, build something you would actually use. If you're going to use the trial, you don't have to figure everything out alone. Through the bootcamp offer linked below, you get the 30-day trial, the bootcamp, and access to a qualified high-level team that can help with setup. And if you want to see me put HighLevel to the test with another real business, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next one.